All right, fans, this is Steve King from Messiah College Athletics coming to you with another edition of On the Road with Suessy. And of course, on the cell phone here, we have Todd Sussmuth. Todd, welcome again to On the Road with Suessy as we're going to recap quickly the men's 2-1 win at Arcadia University tonight.
Hey, thanks for having me again, Steve. Appreciate it.
Hey, give me a feel for this game. You know, coming into the game, the Falcons had scored 31 goals in their last 6 contests. In the last 2 games, their win over Widener, which was thrilling, on homecoming just this past weekend, 1-0 in overtime, and then tonight a 2-1 win. You know, 3 goals in their last 2 games. I think defensively teams are starting to change it up against us and really put some guys in the backfield and stop us from scoring. Give me a feel for how the first half kind of unraveled tonight with that approach from Arcadia.
Well, I thought the guys played extremely well tonight. They moved the ball well. They moved the ball in and out well. Got some good serves off, but just couldn't break down Arcadia's defense. Arcadia lined up about 8 guys at the defensive end and did a nice job of being compact in the middle and just not giving up any of those chances inside the 18. The field here is smaller than we're used to. It's a turf field, so that combination allowed Arcadia to recover quickly on some runs and just kind of keep us in check in the first half. And one of the things that kind of hurt us a little bit was we weren't able to take any decent chances from 18 or out. We were trying to get the perfect goal per se, get it in the box, 1-2, that kind of stuff. But it just seemed like every time we had a nice run, it got interrupted by the extra defender we weren't really expecting. So we went at the halftime. We had dominated the possession. I would say at least 75 to 80% of the possession was ours. Arcadia really didn't have a chance. One block shot, if I remember correctly. But, we went in with the high hopes of we were dominating the game. We just need to figure out a way to stick one in the net.
Yeah, so you mentioned that extra defender, and probably really comes into play, when you think about guys that we have, up top, Jack Thompson, Jeremy Payne, Josh Wood, Mike Kovac, all these guys up top. It's hard to stop all of them, and so that extra defender really does come into play. Looking at the stats for tonight, Thompson had 3 shots, Josh Wood had 1 shot, Jeremy Payne had 1 shot, Kovac had 3 shots. Especially for Wood and Payne, those are lower shot totals than we're used to seeing. Was that just the result of what you said, being that extra defender out there, just stopping that attack?
It was, and they really compacted inside. They gave us a lot of chances down the line where they would defend us one-on-one, but knowing that they had 5 or 6 defenders behind us, so Josh and Jeremy really had a tough time getting open and getting some space where they could turn like they're used to, and then take up the goal and with the ball to feet and kind of work their little 1-2s and stuff inside. They just had no room to work at all tonight. It caused us to go back into the middle, push it around the outside, try to get some services and some shots from the outside. In the first half, we just weren't able to do that as well as we were in the second half.
Yeah. So even coupled, with that Lycoming win, which was 6-0, with a flurry of goals in the second half. A couple games ago, this is the 3rd game that the Falcons have gone into the halftime scoreless. But give me a sense of Brian Ramirez. His goal is 4th on the season in the 56th minute, of how Messiah finally broke through tonight to take that 1-0 lead.
But I think that, I was on the sidelines here, but I could hear Coach as he was basically just harping at the players, not harping at them, it's a bad term there, but encouraging them to take a shot from distance, take one from outside the 18, change it up, don't look for the perfect goal. Let's just get some shots on goal. Maybe it deflects with that many guys in the box. You never know what's going to happen. And sure enough, as they defended inside the box well, Ramirez received one right at the top of the 18, at the circle of the 18, and made a fake to his right and just ripped a shot that beat the keeper to the far post on the ground. Through that made the players, the keeper had no chance again. So it was a beautiful shot by Brian, and it really just opened things up again, because now Arcadia had to start to play a little bit because they needed this win to get into the playoffs in the conference, and they weren't going to do it just staying back and protecting a 0-1 deficit.
Yeah, for sure. And then Danny Squire, about 11 minutes later, the 67th minute, he puts Messiah up 2-0, gets the assist. Cisco, credit to Bryant Meyer there. His 6th on the season. Young guy coming in and making a real big difference with some of the helpers out there. Describe that goal that put the Falcons up 2-0.
Well, yeah, Brian's assists this year have been very crucial. He had a few at the beginning of the season that really got us some wins, and now he's changed into a target role where he was playing more midfield at the beginning of the season, and he's really starting to get comfortable. And Danny Squire did a nice job of feeding a ball into Brian, and Brian kind of played it right back to him. and Dan Squire just ripped it with the outside of the right foot, and the ball kind of curled and dipped at the same time right over the keeper under the crossbar. It was a beautiful shot. The keeper was out about 6 yards off his line, but Dan just hit a rocket, and it just dipped right under the crossbar. Same type of thing, straight up the field, 22 yards out. But got the shot that Coach was talking about at halftime, and he finished.
Yeah, that's and it what proved to be a really big goal. At the time, sometimes you think Messiah is going to get that lead as long as they can break through. Defenders, put back on the backfield on us. If we get that goal, it's going to be great for us. The second goal actually proved to be really, really important because with just over 12 minutes to go, Arcadia gets on the board, and they did that off a PK. Describe how that happened.
Yeah, it was an interesting play, and I'm not going to jump on the official. I thought he did a pretty good job up to that point, but it was a ball played down the line on the near side of the field. And Carter Robbins and another player were just kind of going after the ball, and they met shoulder to shoulder, and the other gentleman just happened to be on the inside of the box and just kind of fell down. Ball wasn't anywhere near the two that had already been deflected away. So it wasn't even like it was a scoring chance or a dangerous chance or anything, but the referee decided to blow the whistle, call the PK, and pretty much changed the last 12 minutes of the game as far as the intensity that Arcadia played with. It kind of gave them a little bit of life, gave their fans a little bit of life, but fortunately Messiah, never really changed the way they played, kept possession, had some excellent chances towards the end, and unfortunately didn't finish anymore, but still continued to pound the attack and kind of keep the Arcadia team on its heels and kind of walk their way into a 2-1 win.
Yeah, I see that Brandon West, goalie for us, keeper for Messiah, came away with 3 saves tonight. Did any of those saves happen when it was a 2-1 game in that last 10 minutes?
No, it was more or less shots that kind of taken from a long distance and kind of bounced it on one hop here or there. Nothing challenging at all.
Okay.
I would say one of them, was even a deflected muted shot type thing. So Brandon really wasn't tested other than the PK, and he guessed the right side, but he just couldn't get his hand to the I forget which number scored for Arcadia, but he tucked it right inside the post, and he did a nice job of spotting it because he had, and Brandon was covering it on that side. But it was a good experience. I mean, we're playing some tough games down the stretch here. It's going to get us ready for the playoffs, and that's what's going to happen in the playoffs. They're going to be tight, 1-goal games, and it's good for us to get a feel for how tight these games can be, both at home and on the road. And fortunately, we've been able to come out on top of both games.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Messiah. Sometimes I think it's taken for granted that. The Commonwealth, we kind of get through that schedule. We've been undefeated in a couple seasons now. We're 8-0 in the Commonwealth right now, looking for that 9th win with Stevenson and Hood joining the conference this year. There's more conference games. So the Falcons are going to look to go to 9-0 when they host Albright College on Saturday. But you're right. Hopefully this is going to pay off in the end for the Falcons as they're playing in tight games and having to know and experience what it means to get that goal late. Because once you get in the NCAA tournament, hopefully the Falcons are going to get there again this year, get into the tournament. You're going to see a lot of those close games. So hopefully the Falcons here are preparing for that as well.
No, absolutely. We saw last year with Newman, and that's been an MO of visiting teams that come in on paper that are not up to par with our strength and speed, that they'll pack it back in and look for that counterattack. And Arcadia played that game tonight, and we're going to see it again in the playoffs. So we might as well get used to it now, and we're preparing for it very well and doing whatever we need to do to make sure we come out on top. And like I said, so far the guys have done a good job of doing that.
Yeah, well, that's great. Well, Messiah takes the 2-1 win over Arcadia on the road. They move to 16-0-1 on the year. They're 8-0 in the Commonwealth Conference. Todd, thanks again for joining us on the road with Suessy tonight. We love having you on.
Thanks for having me again, Steve. Appreciate it, and go Falcon Nation.
That's it. We'll see you on Saturday.
See you later.
All right, bye-bye. Fans, thanks again for joining us, and the Falcons will host Albright College on Saturday, 7:30 on Shoemaker Field. That's October 27th. We'll look forward to seeing you then. If you're not able to make the game, check out GoMessiah.com to see the game live. And you also hear Todd Sussmuth and his partner in crime, Patrick Wolfkill, as they do the radio broadcast once again from Shoemaker Field. Fans, thanks again for joining us. Go Falcons.